Hey guys, Tim with PTProgress, and this year about 20,000 students will submit their physical therapy school application for about 10,000 PT school seats. Less than 50% of PT school applicants will even get a letter of acceptance, which makes it very competitive as a field to enter. So in this video, we'll look at how to get into PT school and ways you can maximize your application. So let's take a look. Hey, if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and check out the Physical Therapy School playlist because we go over a lot more detail on other topics that'll be helpful for you on your journey to become a physical therapist. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about are prerequisites. Not every physical therapy school shares the same prerequisite classes, but most of them include the classes like Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2 with lab, Biology 1 and 2 with lab, General Chemistry 1 and 2 with a lab, General Physics with lab, both 1 and 2, Psychology, and Statistics. Now, some require other random courses like speech, English, mathematics, but there's a good chance that you'll meet those requirements when you complete your general undergraduate degree. Of course, every program is different, so make sure you explore their admissions page early to see what courses they require. You could also look at the PTCAS website because they list out all of the PT programs and do a pretty good job in organizing which prerequisite courses each program requires. Now, the reason you should do this early is because there are still some physical therapy schools that will not consider you if you've not completed all your prereqs before you apply to their program. Now, most programs will offer you an acceptance letter contingent upon you completing your prerequisites with a certain GPA, but if you're dead set on a school in your area and they require you to have your prerequisites completed before you can be accepted, you need to know this ahead of time and plan to front load your prerequisites in the first few years of your undergrad degree. Number 2 has to do with choosing the best college major. Now, your major doesn't matter as much as you think it does. You can watch my video on selecting the best college major for physical therapy, and you'll see that majoring in biology or kinesiology is not a requirement for getting into PT school. In fact, I argue pretty strongly towards getting a degree outside of the traditional biology or exercise science programs because it can help you stand out with other skill sets that you can bring greater diversity to the program and also later on help you in your career with these new skill sets. So while your major doesn't really matter for physical therapy school, I think you can use it towards your advantage to help improve your application and to set yourself apart as a student who would excel in a physical therapy program because you've proven yourself to be a student who would excel in a difficult engineering or business program or whatever else it is. You can show that you can succeed in other programs and translate that to physical therapy very quickly and very easily. Number 3 is shadowing and physical therapy experience. One of the absolute best ways for setting yourself apart as a strong applicant is to have a diverse list of shadowing and experiences in multiple therapy settings. You'll find that a lot of programs vary in how many hours they require. Some don't list any hours, while some list 40 or up to 200 hours as a requirement. And I want to challenge you to aim for 200 hours or more of shadowing at 3 to 4 different physical therapy clinics. And if it's possible, you should try to experience physical therapy at a hospital, an outpatient clinic, pediatrics clinic, neuro setting, a skilled nursing facility. Wherever you're able to experience PT, try out new settings, and if you can get to shadow or observe in those settings, I think that'll be great for your career and for getting into PT school. Not only will this shape your ability to answer the ultimate question of why do you want to be a physical therapist, but it gives you the opportunity to interact with multiple PTs, to learn from their experiences, and even to get their support as you reach out for letters of recommendation for the programs you're applying to. Plus, you'll be able to use the experiences that you have there to expand your knowledge of the field of physical therapy. The admissions teams across all programs really want you to succeed in their program. So showing them that you understand the field of physical therapy through your experiences, that's going to be the key to your acceptance into a lot of different PT programs across the country. Number 4 has to do with minimum GPA and GRE scores. When you're doing your research for physical therapy programs, you'll find that a lot of places will include a minimum GRE score as well as an average GPA for applicants into the program. According to the PTCAS data report for 2018, the average GPA for accepted students was 3.57. Now, if you have a strong GRE and a GPA, that's great, but you'll need to make sure the rest of your application is strong too because grades aren't the only thing they look at on the applications. If your GRE and your GPA are just below average or they're below the cutoff for a program that you want to attend, you've got a couple of options. One of the options, of course, is to expand the number of programs you're interested in applying to in order to include programs that have lesser cutoffs. Another option is to retake a course that you had a low grade in, and that'll help boost your science and overall GPA as well. But if you're really close to that cutoff, I recommend that you contact the admissions department to discuss your application because if your application is strong in other areas like research, extracurricular activities, and other items, it's possible that they make an exception for your GRE and even your GPA if it's really close. Now, it may be more difficult if you're below the GPA cutoff, but it's still worth asking. And I'm not saying this is going to be the same with every program, but sometimes it comes up, and it's a question I hear from PT school applicants who are worried about their low GPAs. Okay, number 5 is about writing your personal statement. Now, your personal statement is one of the most important elements of your PT school application. It gives the admissions team a look into your personality, your strengths, your background, your creativity, and it really gives them an idea of what makes you unique, because they're not seeing you, they're only seeing what you've written in your personal statement. Now, I know this can be one of the most stressful parts of the application process, and this is going to vary for everyone, because there isn't a formula for creating the perfect personal statement. And this is especially true because the actual essay prompt and the question, it changes every year, and you don't really know what it is until the application process opens up on the PTCAS platform. But it can be really helpful to see personal statements of other students who are accepted into PT programs. So if you're serious about getting into PT school and you want to see what a couple personal statements look like for some students who are accepted into very competitive PT programs, you can take a look at the PT school interview guide. Not only can you see my personal statement, but we'll share some of the strategies on how to best answer interview questions and to make your application stand out from all the other applicants applying to PT school. The application process to get into PT school starts in July every year, but the planning process, it needs to happen 1 to 2 years out before you even apply. And while I would love to cover every part of the application process in this video, there's just a lot of moving parts to consider, so I put together a huge resource on how to become a physical therapist. I'd encourage you to watch through the other videos on the PT school playlist, but you can check out the link below to see the most comprehensive guide for applying to and becoming a physical therapist. So I'll see you there.